Imposter syndrome is basically just insecurity, but insecurity gone unchecked or corrected will keep you in debt and slow down your money growth. I was smart, I was capable, I was working hard, but no matter how much money I made, I still felt broke. Not just financially, but mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And the truth is, it wasn't just the money holding me back. It was the fear of being seen, the fear of not being good enough even when I was. If you've ever felt like a fraud, you don't deserve a seat at the table, you're scared someone will find out who you are and you're not as qualified as you think you are, that feeling, that's imposter syndrome. And today, I'm going to show you how that one silent fear is keeping you broke, stressed, and stuck in debt, even when you're doing everything right. Because this battle isn't just in your budget, it's in your belief. You can't fix what you're afraid to face. Imposter syndrome is the internalized belief that you're not as competent as others perceive you to be, and it doesn't care about your achievements. You could have a good job, you could have degrees, you could have promotions, you could have certifications, and still feel like you're one wrong move away from being exposed. This belief, feeling, or way in which you view yourself, it leads to undervaluing your worth. It leads to avoiding new opportunities, settling for less pay, and playing small financially. Take this for instance. You get offered a side hustle opportunity, but you decline it because you don't feel qualified enough. The truth is, that missed opportunity that could have added an extra $500 to $1,000 a month, that's real income. That's real debt gone. You're not just underpaid, you're underestimating yourself. Imposter syndrome isn't just a mindset problem. It's a money problem. And it's quietly robbing people of the wealth they could be building. Here's how. You settle for less money, such as you don't ask for the raise. You stay in roles that you've outgrown. If you do a launch on a side hustle, you underprice everything because you doubt your worth. Instead of negotiating, what you tend to do is you apologize. Instead of raising your prices, you over-deliver for free. Imposter syndrome makes you feel like you should be grateful to even be at this table, when in reality, you should be the one that's setting it. You also avoid high income opportunities in cases like the thought of launching a business. Your emotions and your thoughts become, nah, that's for people smarter than me. AI side hustles. Your thoughts become, I wouldn't even know where to start. A promotion, you start thinking, I'm not even qualified enough. So what that happens is you shrink. And while you wait for your confidence to magically appear, you miss out on the income that would have changed your life. You also overspend to cope in ways like when you don't feel good enough, you try to buy the feeling. That's how we fall into what I would say is called retail therapy. You buy the new shoes, the flashy cars, more stuff basically, and it's basically just to distract you from your inner shame. You spend to feel seen, but in reality, you're buying validation at the cost of your freedom. And I'm sure all of you know what I'm talking about. You procrastinate on your finances, and what happens is the bills pile up. You avoid checking your bank account. You say, I'll start budgeting next month. But shame, it basically keeps you stuck. And what started as avoidance, it becomes a cycle of debt and anxiety. Imposter syndrome says, if I ignore it, maybe it'll fix itself, but it never does. You also isolate yourself financially so that you don't ask questions because you don't want to look dumb. You don't hire help because you don't think you're ready. You struggle in silence while others grow because they were willing to learn. What I've come to learn is financial freedom was never about being perfect. It's about being bold enough just to start. I need you to listen to me. I'm going to give you a reality check. This is costing you tens of thousands of dollars every single year. You were never meant to shrink into survival. You were born to steward abundance. Here's what happens when you stay stuck. Your debt grows, and it grows quietly, but eventually it turns loud. It starts with one missed payment. Then it's interest stacking, basically. Then it's the stress of juggling due dates, late fees, and collection calls. The weight, it doesn't just sit on your credit score, it sits on your peace. Every month you delay, the hole gets deeper. Debt doesn't just drain your money, it drains your mindset. Your savings, it vanishes. Or it may never even begin. You tell yourself, I'll start saving when I make more. But the truth is, it's never about how much you make. It's about what you keep. When you're stuck in survival mode, there's never extra to save because it gets swallowed by impulse spending, emotional purchases, or catching up on bills. Without savings, you live one emergency away from disaster, basically. Your confidence dies, and it dies slowly and silently. Every time you say, I'll start next month and don't, you're not just losing time, you're losing belief in yourself. You start to question if things will ever change. You shrink your goals to match your current struggles, and that fire inside you, basically, it dies out or it dims. Have you ever looked at your bank account and felt like a failure? The truth is, the system trained you to believe that you're not enough unless you're perfect. Impostor syndrome is a financial disease with emotional roots. You have to believe you're worthy of more before you become more. You don't rise to your goals. You actually fall to your beliefs. So I actually have a plan for you to start changing your belief system. And this is your 5-step untapped potential plan. Step 1, acknowledge it. Say it out loud. I feel like an imposter, but I'm qualified to grow. The truth, it'll set you free. Step 2, audit your financial self-worth. Write down your wins, your jobs, your certifications, your promotions, your results, and reflect on how much you've earned versus what you could have earned. Step 3, set one income goal. Ask for a raise or apply for a higher paying position within 30 days. Or launch a side hustle with your existing skills. Step 4, build a confidence budget. Cut shame spending. Build a self-investment fund. Pay yourself first, even if it's $20 a week. Step 5, join a growth environment. Find a mentor, a coach, or a community that challenges basically your limits and your belief system. Basically, you need to let iron sharpen iron. Your future is too expensive to keep letting fear write your checks. The you who stays silent about your dreams is not the you who becomes debt-free. The you who avoids asking for what they deserve is not the you who builds wealth. You have to become someone different to get somewhere different. This isn't just about budgeting, it's about becoming. It's about finally giving yourself permission to win. You don't have to prove yourself to anyone else, but you owe it to you to stop living beneath your potential. Imposter syndrome may have been your story, but it doesn't have to be your legacy. If you're ready to take the next step, drop this in the comment. I'm done shrinking. I'm ready to grow. And make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell because I drop truth. I'm dropping tools and transformation every week to help you unlock your untapped potential. Your freedom starts the moment you believe you deserve it. So let's grow, let's win, let's go get everything they said that we couldn't have. Later.